Welcome back, True Seeker. Congrats to the winners on UNC. I know a lot of people in the community went with their narrative today. They had a great riddle to advance to the championship game. It was a tight call, but UNC had a very great narrative to upset, and they did deliver. And again, it's just the power of gematria. For years, I've taught you guys the same thing about championships and the number 131. In gematria, championship equals 131, so does Super Bowl. It's a number that shows up in championships year after year. North Carolina just picked up their 131st tournament win, upsetting Duke to advance to the championship. And they did it with Roy Williams watching, who, of course, coached UNC and Kansas, which is now the final. Notice both winning scores tonight were with 81 points, and you have an 8 seed versus a 1 seed. But also interesting, Roy Williams is 71 years old right now, and March Madness equals 71, that infamous March Madness number. And you might have noticed that at halftime, the score of the game was 37-34, 71 points. It's interesting because Kansas Jayhawks in gematria equals 37. Kansas is the 34th state. Tar Heels equals 34. Tar Heels were down 34-37 at the half, came back to win it. You might have noticed their mascot's also very similar to the Los Angeles Rams' mascot, who was just on the Super Bowl. But some other incriminating things for Duke in this game. I told my people to stay off Duke. I told my people to be very careful in this Final Four round. The riddles were tight, but again, some people went with that UNC narrative because the value was there. Coach K just picked up his 48th loss against UNC. His 48th loss exactly 48 days after his February 13th birthday. And what's interesting about that is in gematria, Final Four equals 48. So does Hubert Davis, who's now the coach of North Carolina, used to be a player there. So those were two big things for North Carolina, the 131st win and Coach K's potential 48th loss versus UNC. The third thing was that in Jewish gematria, which is an important cipher, Tar Heels equals 309, and Coach K just got his 309th loss with Duke. And that's the way his career ends, in a historical finish, a battle of North Carolina. Again, this is the 83rd men's tournament. In 1983, North Carolina State won. The famous catch of the air ball at the rim laid in to defeat that favored Houston team with Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. From back then to now, it's all been scripted the same way. NC State Wolfpack, 83. Major upset that Hakeem the Dream Team was a huge favorite, and of course, they didn't win because they laid down. These games are scripted, you guys. You learn gematria. You see through the scripts. They're perfect every time. And, case in point, Villanova loses with 65 to Kansas earlier. What's Kansas equal? 65 with the alphabetic order, 11 when you use numerology. They were down 11 at the half. They end up losing with 65 points. In the North Carolina excitement, late in the game, they had it tied up 67-67. North Carolina equals 67. Duke 67. You want to get even cuter? University of North Carolina equals 331, the 67th prime. And again, Roy Williams there with his slave muzzle on. You might have saw at the end when his team won, he celebrated and even tore it off, which would make you go, why was he wearing it in the first place? But again, congrats to those who took the underdog North Carolina. It was a gutsy call, but then again, there was the great championship riddle there. And again, that's what the media does. They had everybody believing Duke had already won the whole thing. And again, that's the magic they pull on the people. They usually got them leaning the wrong way. It's how the casinos win big. So we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. We'll be talking about the championship on Patreon tomorrow. And again, no doubt there's a clue with Roy Williams. For those of you guys who like to do your own homework, better start studying Roy. It's his two teams, UNC versus Kansas. Oh, if I forgot to say so, again, March Madness is 71, like Roy Williams is 71, and when you run it in reverse, March Madness is 46. And again, the championship's 46 days after Jordan's birthday. Of course, he played at UNC, the GOAT. Remember I was telling you about Brady, who said he's coming back for number 8. UNC is an 8 seed in the championship. 8 versus 1 when both winning scores today, 81. All right, we'll leave it there. Stop blocking my videos, Google. Stop taking down my channels, Google. Again, for all you guys who think this stuff's a joke, that's the other thing that somehow isn't registering in your brain. Why do they block so much of my content? They did this to the other... they've only blocked 2 of my March Madness videos so far. This is one. The other one they blocked was the one I did when St. Peter's lost. Talked about the death of El Nardo Webster, a year to the day of Elgin Baylor dying. Of course, Elgin Baylor died last year, and Baylor won the championship. This year, El Nardo Webster of the Peacocks died 16 days after his birthday, and then the Peacocks won in the Sweet 16. He was the greatest player in Peacocks history. So, same stuff every year. Rigged games, ritual sacrifice, and only the most dense aren't getting it. Until next time, Truth Seeker.